start fairly soon, but very much in moderation.
Yeah.
You know, I might pass through I'll start obviously with 1 pole, then 2 poles, and usually work to like 3, and I will pass through 3. I probably do it 3 times, but almost every time I do ring work, which is not very often with a green horse. As soon as I have some steering, I want to get out on the roads and the hills and get some strength on them and get them used to going out in the great wide open before they become really settled in the ring.
It seems to me most of us deal in the real world with one of several options. We either start with one that is already, you know, you get a horse, he's either broke and he's quiet, or he's been ridden a lot and he's hot, or he is green. And I think that you have to absolutely tailor your program to what that is. But let me give you an insight that I think is really valuable. David Hopper sells a lot of horses, and years ago, many years ago, he came up with this formula. He said if you analyze a horse, he said, imagine his temperament on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is hotter than a firecracker, almost unrideable, and 1 is really lethargic. He said the only difference between a 1 and a dead horse is the 1 eats. He said, but here was his point. He said horses with an innate temperament of 1 through 4 absorb the mistakes of the rider. You go to get on and you miss, you know, from the mounting block and you bang against him, he just stands there, right? He doesn't scoot away and have you land on the ground. Or something spooks him and he doesn't react. I mean, something spooky happens and he doesn't react. Or you're bouncing around and it doesn't make him all tense. Okay, 1 through 4. 5s and 6, David said, are the ideal competition horses because within limits they tolerate the mistakes of the rider. 7s and up magnify the mistakes of the rider. So I think in real life you have to kind of say, okay, am I the kind of rider that needs a 1 through a 4? Probably most people, like the good riders, like to compete, or a 5 or a 6. They've got enough zing to go, but not so much that they burst into flame. And then there are a few riders that can ride a 7 or a 7.5 or an 8. Forget 9s and 10s. So let's say you are a parent and you are going to buy a horse for your 14-year-old daughter, and you go to buy a 15-year-old plain brown quarter horse that's 15 hands and just steady Eddie. And the kid sees this beautiful gray thoroughbred 4-year-old mare off the racetrack floating around, and she has visions of the black stallion, right? And so you come home with the 4-year-old. What had you just done to your kid? Almost doomed her. And this is what the parent says, oh, they can learn together, right? It's stupid, right? They need to learn how to ride before they get the 6 or the 7 or the 8. They should never get the 8, but before they get the higher octane kind of horses. And so much of the failure in the riding world is a 4 rider trying to ride a 7. And once it happens, you cannot get them off that horse with a freaking crowbar because what? I love him.